It's certain people that master the art of communication. And a lot of times when people master the art of communication, they end up mastering the art of manipulation. And once you turn that into manipulation, they soon turn into narcissism. Narcissistic, narcissistic tendencies is when a person uh, they manipulate people to do a lot of different things, right? And then they also manipulate you to thinking that all the shit that they're doing to you is your fault, right? So I deal with a lot of narcissistic people in my family, right? Like everybody that I've ever met has some sort of narcissistic tendencies within them, right? And me growing up around a whole bunch of narcissistic people, I had picked up on certain narcissistic characteristics, right? But then once I went in and did the healing work, I had to heal certain aspects of myself, right? I had to grow, heal, and evolve from all the shit that I've learned through manipulating people to get what I want, right? So I wasn't doing like fucked up shit. But it's like, I done talked to people before where it's like, if I ain't getting none out of it, I'm not talking to you. So if I have an agenda, right? Let's just say somebody wanted to, let's just say I had this person that I know would give me anything I want, right? I don't really like them like that, but I'm gonna have them think that I like them like that, right? Because I'm cool, I'm calm, cool, collected. I ain't leading you on. I'm just having conversation with you. But by me knowing that you like me more than I like you, I'm not being 100% honest. I'm just going with the flow, act like, you know what I'm saying, we just cool and like that. But I'm still knowing that you like me. I didn't set a boundary. I didn't make it clear that, hey, I don't like you like that. But since that I know you like me and I know you gonna do whatever for me, I'm gonna manipulate you to do whatever you want from me. And 9 times out of 10, I didn't even have to ask nobody to do nothing. I just know that you're gonna do it for me because that you like me. Out the strength of you liking me, and I know you like me, I'm I'm gonna allow you to do whatever you want and make you feel like that's your decision to do it. Now, it very may be your decision to do it, but then again, if you didn't like me, would you do that? Now, I'm not saying that I did anything to make you like me, but I'm saying that's just how motherfuckers is, right? So I don't do this shit no more. But it's like people do this shit. Like people do this shit. People use people, they con people, they manipulate people, they trick and beguile you. And that shit turns into narcissism, bro. Like, cause it's a game of manipulation. And that's another form of energy work, man. People have you doing shit and to make you feel like you doing it because you wanted to do it. But deep down inside, you wouldn't do this on a regular. You wouldn't normally do this. You wouldn't normally behave this way. You wouldn't normally do this, that, and the third. And I know some people bring out certain aspects of people and all that, woo. But this shit go deeper than the physical, man. You gotta just see past the illusions. You gotta see past the mind games. You gotta see past the trickery. You gotta see past the foolery. And the only way you gonna do this shit, the only way you gonna get through this shit is you gotta go through some shit. When you go through some shit and you learn some shit, you really figure out some shit. Then you know, damn, this is what's been going on. This is what's been going on. Even if you didn't even know that was what you was doing, you're doing it. Now, one thing about God is when you don't know what you do, when you don't fully understand what you're doing, then God will give you grace and give you mercy, right? But sometimes if you keep doing it, then God might have to like give you a little spanking or something like that. But when you know better and you learn the lesson and you still try to manipulate people and all that to go in your favor, that's when your karma gonna be way worse, because I'm calling giving you warning signs. I ain't finna calling keep giving you no warning signs. Now I'm finna have to go ahead and sit your ass down. Now I'm finna have to break you down. I'm finna have to break your whole foundation down, because you gonna have to learn that you cannot play with people like that. You cannot play with my children like that. So I had a lot of narcissistic tendencies. Like, you know what I'm saying? They be like, oh, Lying ass Libras. Let me tell you something. Everybody lie. Everybody have lied once in their lifetime, right? But I feel like I was in my South Node. My South Node is where I made all my mistakes, right? Because I was still learning, right? So I wasn't in my purpose. I was lost. I didn't know a lot about a lot of shit, right? I wasn't learning. I wasn't paying attention to the signs and the synchronicities and the lesson that God was trying to teach me. I was just waking up like most people do. They just wake up and go day by day. They you know what I'm saying? All right, let me go over sister's house, see what's popping over here. Let me go over sister's house. Let me see what's going on over here. Oh, okay. Well, I know if cause some people, this is how some people is. They know they be like, man, I want to smoke. Damn. I either don't want to smoke right now. I either don't want to use my money to smoke. So let me go over sister's house because I know they always smoking. So I know they'll smoke with me. That's why I keep my money in my pocket and I just smoke up all day. Like people think like this. People think like this. People use people. They be like, do I want to buy something to eat? Let me call sister because I know he gonna buy me some food. I know he gonna buy me some food if I say I'm hungry or anything like that. Like that's still a form of manipulation, bro. Like, regardless if a person choose to do it, because everybody have free will, they can either say yes or they can say no, right? Because if that person said, no, I can't really do it today, then you still got your money to do, right? But it's like, but if they say yes, it's just like, it's just wrong, bro. It's just wrong. And a lot of people, they have that I don't give a fuck mentality and they just keep fucking over people and keep using people and keep conning people to get what they want out of a situation. But it's like, you can't keep living life like that. You can't keep living life like that. Now, I made the decision to change because I was like, man, this shit toxic as hell. Like, when God started showing me certain shit, it started, like, really waking me up. And I started learning, like, damn, I was manipulating people. Like, but when you grew up in that type of environment, when you grew up with those type of behaviors, you're not knowing that that's wrong. You're not knowing that, you know what I'm saying? You just think, shit, that's life. You know what I'm saying? But is it, though? Do you want it to be your life? Because you can choose for it not to be your life. And you can choose however you want your life to go. That's why it's free will. So it's just like, it's all about the lessons you learn and the things that you do with your life. The choices that you make in your life. I'm not finna sit up here and trick and beguile somebody because it's going to benefit me. There's one side of this here. That's why a lot of motherfuckers be in one-sided relationships and they don't understand. They feel like, oh, I love them, so I'm going to stay. I love them, so I'm going to continue to be hurt. Never love somebody more than you love your motherfucking self. Because when people see that, that's not going to make them love you more. That's going to make them love you less because they see that you don't even love yourself enough to leave, enough to walk away, enough to have your dignity and your self-respect, that you will allow somebody to just abuse you over and over and over and over and over again, to use you over and over and over and over and over again. You know a motherfucker don't really like you like that, but you allow them to, you feel like, okay, if I keep spending money on them, if I keep doing for them, then they'll eventually like me. No. They just gonna keep using your ass because you allowing it. Can't nobody do shit that you won't allow. So if you allow somebody to treat you a certain way, if you allow somebody to do you a certain way, then they're gonna do it. Because it's not about who you are to them. It's about how you treat yourself. If you treat yourself less than, then they're gonna treat you less than. Because they see that you don't really value yourself. You don't really care about yourself like that. Your morals and your self-respect and your dignity is not intact. So they like, well, let me walk all over this person because this person don't give a fuck about themselves. You got to love yourself more than you love these motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck how much you like a motherfucker. I don't give a fuck how much you want to date a motherfucker. You can't let a motherfucker do you. You just can't, bro. You can't let nobody trick you, beguile you, or none of that. Because if you allow it the first time, they going to feel like they can do it every motherfucking time. And then you're going to find yourself in repetitive cycles like, damn, I'm going through the same shit with this person because they're not going to change because you haven't changed. You haven't put up that boundary. You haven't put your foot down. You haven't said enough is enough and I'm not going to allow you to do to me like this anymore.